I don't know how you do this. I mean, who picks this as a specialty, this job? It's weird.
Well,
it's all about, junk.
Well, I mean, I've told you the story as
Yeah,
to
I heard the
why I
story.
picked it.
Because you thought people were happy.
I wanted to have some long-term relationship with some people.
Patience?
Patience,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely. And I also wanted to, ultimately be there for my family and loved ones, and hopefully I am.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you're going through medical school, you basically get, from my perspective as a surgeon, 3 choices
Okay.
for, I think, a pretty good quality of life.
Okay.
Boogers, breasts, and balls.
What?
Yeah.
Boogers? What's boogers?
So an ear, nose, throat doctor.
Oh,
But
okay. Boogers.
I thought it was kind of boring and I don't know. Just
Okay.
wasn't really for me. Breast plastic surgery.
Oh,
But,
okay.
The last thing I want to do is be, dealing with people who aren't happy about their Botox or that their nipple's a little bit off. Like,
Okay,
I'm
wow.
sorry.
Okay.
So balls won. I mean, I get to talk to dudes all day about, bedroom activities and get them snipped and talk about their fantasy football team and what restaurants they like to go eat at. And I get to laugh and be weirdly inappropriate in public.
Boogers, breasts, and balls. And he chose balls.
No, draw your own conclusions. Welcome to Balls Deep, a humorous yet informative medical show with a mission of optimizing your performance in the bedroom, the bathroom, and the boardroom. I'm your host, Dr. Joe Pizzona, a board-certified urologist and CEO of Pizzona MD. We hope you enjoy. Now, let's jump right in. Stream team, Happy New Year's! Here we are on Balls Deep, and we're coming to the end of 2024, a very successful inaugural year for our podcast and for all of you for tuning in. So thank you. And as always on today's episode, joined with Kat Williams, my lovely co-host.
He's yet to find a better co-host.
Oh, please.
I feel like he's still looking.
2025, maybe.
He's posted a job opening if anyone's interested. I don't think you're going to get any takers.
Oh, please. We have too much fun on here. We'd have a lot of takers.
Well, Happy New Year.
Yeah, same to you.
So, resolutions maybe
Let's
for 25?
do it. Yeah, that'd be fun. Let's do some healthcare resolutions for people, some actionable things, very...
You love this word actionable.
Well,
It's one of your catchphrases, actionable.
Well, listen.
Sounds like a lot.
I went into surgery because I like fixing things.
Okay, well, that's reasonable.
Right? I mean, we can talk about shit all day, but let's get something done.
I think you can say the S word on the podcast.
Dude, we're talking about balls all day. I could say a little swear word here and there.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll put a disclosure at the end of this. But New Year's resolutions for 2025.
Shall we dive right in?
Let's go deep.
All right.
Balls deep.
I think it's down to one. We were talking about this. One overreaching idea that you're going to break down for us. Getting selfish about your health.
Yes. So the overarching, if I had to pick just one New Year's resolution for everybody out there, is in order to be selfless for others, you have to get selfish about your health. So often we are doing all these other things. We're driving the kids to practice, we're making dinner, we're going to work, we're taking care of our employees, we're trying to impress our boss, all of these things. And whatever's left over is what you get to do.
Which a lot of the time is not much. Not much is left over.
And during that time, it's so easy to fall into, I'm exhausted, I'm going to go sit on the couch, I just want to relax, want to have a drink.
Want to watch TV.
And listen, all those things are fine. But I truly feel that in order to best serve other people, you cannot compromise your own self-care. I've been through this journey myself. 4 years ago, in the middle of the pandemic, I had some ridiculous idea to open a medical practice while everyone else was closing their medical practice doors and selling it to someone else.
You did do that.
And I was like, F it, I'm going to go do this. And the one thing I haven't compromised is my wellness. I will not take a meeting after a certain time because I'm in bed. Mm-hmm. I will spend time with my family, even if that means I don't get to work on my work anymore. I am going to wake up and do my exercise. And if that means I'm a little late to taking my kid to some practice, sorry, dude, you're going to have to wait. I'm going to take that extra time and cook a healthy dinner. because to me, it's that important. And I realize that our body's like a performance vehicle, and you've got to build and shape and put good things into it. So the overarching theme, again, get selfish about your health. This is a long game. You get one body, you get one chance at this beautiful life here. Stop making the excuses. You have to prioritize your health like you do every other meeting. And what I want people to do is get out their phone leading up, and as you're thinking about all your resolutions, I want you to schedule time for the upcoming pillars of health that we're going to discuss, and make sure you're putting a little bit of time into all of these to make sure they're optimized.
Okay, so he said get a pen or get a piece of paper
Yep.
and a pencil. We're going to write them down. There's 7.
Yep.
And the first one is your mindset,
Yeah.
which is kind of what you just mentioned.
Yes.
But this is number 1.
Yes, that's number 1 is the mindset. And I think as a corollary to that is understand that this is a marathon and not a sprint. Okay. Diets don't work for a reason. They're not sustainable. There's a reason there's a million of them. One burger is not going to break you, and one salad isn't going to make you. You have to consistently put good food in your body. And if you change your mindset around that, instead of going, I got to go on a diet, it's January, I just put on 15 pounds in the holidays, and instead go, you know what? I'm going to start making good, consistent food choices. And if on Saturday night I get invited out to my favorite restaurant to go have a beer and a burger, I'm going to go enjoy the shit out of that burger. And that's okay. I'm not a bad person.
Right.
And it doesn't mean now all of a sudden my nutrition is going to hell because I had that burger. And in the same token, thinking if you are not currently eating vegetables, that you're going to all of a sudden in January eat a salad every day for 30 days and that you're going to stick with that, come on. Let's be honest. And that's okay. These are normal things. We've got to take a long view. And so it starts off with that mindset.
Starts off with your mindset, and now you dovetailed into number 2, which is your nutrition.
Yeah. And I think the one resolution is separate from that mindset idea is start putting just more whole foods in your body. There's so much misinformation about nutrition. As a whole, the nutrition research and studies that are done are garbage. They're just garbage.
Okay.
Most studies you read about nutrition, we have no idea. But there are some universal principles I think we could all follow. Mainly drink water. Try to limit and in some cases completely eliminate ultra-processed foods. Instead, fill your body with nutritious whole foods. And you don't have to starve yourself. If you fill yourself with lots of good whole foods, chicken, rice, broccoli, sweet potatoes, steak. Oh my God.
Apples, blueberries.
You're going to eat red meat? Yes, eat some damn red meat. It's okay. Just don't eat the burger from McDonald's. Okay. So I think if we do that, and then lastly, try not to drink your calories. I think that's another huge thing that people miss is the morning milkshake from Starbucks and the, it's just a couple beers or a couple glasses of wine every single night. Those are hands down the biggest reasons people struggle with their weight. They're drinking their calories. So drink water, eat whole foods, stay away from the junk, and give yourself some grace.
I like it. Okay, number 3, movement.
If I had to pick the one thing to instill from a habit perspective, again, you got to watch what you eat. You got to change your mindset. But I feel like movement is that sort of that linchpin, that first domino that if you knock that one down, everything else gets easier. Why? Well, if you move and get good exercise, you're probably going to sleep better. If you sleep better, you're going to have better hormones. You're going to wake up feeling more energized and less stressed. You're then less likely to make emotional food choices and put good food in your body. And now you feel energized. Hey, I want to go work out again. And the cycle continues.
It's like a snowball effect.
Absolutely. And so, as we alluded to in the previous episode, again, stop looking at it as the only way to move your body is I have to take an hour to 2 hours out of my day, change my clothes, drive to a gym, and do something I hate. I think there's 2 actionable things. Number 1, find small opportunities to move your body. Take the stairs, park far away, carry your groceries, go for a walk after each meal. These are all crazy, powerful things that all of us can do.
But they're simple.
They're simple. Number 2, there's got to be some movement that you love or you can share with somebody else. There's got to be. That can just be a walk with your partner after dinner. It could simply go play some pickleball. It could be, running around with your kids out in the backyard. Go jump on the trampoline with them. There's lots of little moments in the busy everyday life where you can get that connection with someone and have a healthy behavior together. Especially as parents and busy professionals, it's like, well, I don't have time to work out. I got to come home and be with my kids. Who said that being with kids means they're playing their video games and you're sitting next to them scrolling on your phone? How often have we seen in even our house, the 3 wonderful kids that are with us come down and work out with us and do things? I mean, it's amazing how much it rubs off. So find those small opportunities to move during the day and move with your family.
Your body is not a couch. Quit treating it like one.
Love it.
All right, number 4, sleep. We talk about this a lot, but it's a big, big important one.
Yeah, and again, last episode, for those who missed it, about medicine and the media, we hit on the sleep habits. And again, real short and sweet here. If a bedtime routine matters for your kids, it matters for you. There's nothing that magically changes when you turn 16 or 21 or 25 or 30 or 40 that makes a bedtime routine any less important than the absolute obsession we have over the toddler and the infant bedtime routine. Nothing. We all need it. There's a reason it works. There's a reason you do it as a parent. It's insane to not do the same for yourself. So, one New Year's resolution for sleep: get a bedtime routine. You got to set yourself up for success. Then the sleep quality will improve.
Okay. Number 5. This one is hard, I think, for all of us. Stress reduction, which perhaps better to say emotional health. Trying to get that in control on a positive note.
I don't think people appreciate the direct link between a stressed mind and a stressed body, and how a healthy mind can lead to a healthy body, and that relationship goes back and forth. So what do I mean by that? When you put good food in your body and you sleep and you move, you will be in a better mood. Now, you are not going to take someone who's maybe introverted or suffers from severe depression and pop them full of organic vegetables and exercise routine and, magically they're happy. I'm not saying that. There still is mental illness in this country that is vastly undertreated and undersupported. However, all of us have a range in what we're capable of with our mental and emotional health. And I've seen it time and time again. When you do good things for your body, in turn, it'll do good things for your mind. And on the flip side, when you can do things that get these negative thoughts out of your head, you are then more likely to take positive physical action. You're also less likely to suffer from a lot of these chronic illnesses. Very often I see patients in my office who come in and they've been to 50 doctors. I don't know why I have this pain here. And we've run every test and we don't find anything. 999 times out of 1,000, they don't have some mysterious illness that you need to go to the Mayo Clinic to diagnose. What they have is some sort of trauma, some psychological stressor that is impacting their body. That doesn't mean that person is crazy, but it just shows the power of that interrelation between the brain and the body. So what's an actionable thing you can do? I call it the gratitude and joy light switch. It is impossible to simultaneously have a negative and a positive thought. We all have shit that happens to us during the day. We all have major life events. You lose loved ones. You have a bad day at work. You woke up on the wrong side of the bed. You just have a bad day. But if you can take just one moment every day to write down something you're grateful for, and if you're watching this video, you have a lot to be grateful for. You have a phone, you likely have a roof over your head. You have warmth.
An internet connection.
You've got running water and toilets. You have more than what most people in this world have. It's not to minimize your problems, but celebrate that all that you do have and how beautiful life is and how lucky you are. If you have a single person in your life who loves you, you're a really lucky person. And then finding those moments of joy, do the things you like doing. Stop denying yourself that. And if you do have those negative thoughts, it's incredible how powerful it is to just write them down on paper. When you get them out of this crazy space, I call it the asshole roommate in my head, when he shows up and starts going, Joe, you're not doing enough. You're not good enough. You didn't spend time with your kids today. You didn't work as hard in your business. Oh God, you ate like crap. I've got to write those things down. And when you do, it shows that they're really powerless. They're just words and thoughts that you can turn off. So this is not some hippy dippy sort of stuff that, I'm a scientist. This works. You can't feel both negative and positive thoughts. And again, that healthy mind, healthy body, start paying attention to that.
Okay. I like that very much. Number 6, this is interesting to me that you've included this, the alignment of the family. What do you mean by that?
Our wellness and health is really a sum total of our daily habits. Our daily habits are made easier or more difficult, or are frankly an end result of our environment. And we typically have 2 environments. You've got your professional life and you've got your home life. If you are in a home where there's no bedtime, there's junk food everywhere, no one exercises, everybody is stressed out running around, and there's no connectivity, what do you think the likelihood is that you're going to be able to cook yourself a healthful meal, work out, and get to bed on time?
About 0.
Right?
Yeah.
And at the same token, we see all of these people, we see it in our friends, right? Who are, again, I've got to do this for my kids, do this for my kids. And again, I've got 3 kids. Mm-hmm. And for the record, I don't know what the hell I'm doing as a parent. I really don't.
You do, but
I
think everyone feels that way. No one feels like they know what they're doing as a parent.
But what I know, or I feel very strongly about, is if I model good behavior for my kids, and that includes wellness, that is one of the most loving things I can do on their behalf. Because who cares if your kid ends up as the traveling soccer star or gets all A's, but they're a miserable person who has no wellness in their life and they have terrible sleep habits, and at some point it's going to catch up with them. Or that your child is already overweight and is already at a higher risk for type 2 diabetes later down the line. That's not a loving thing to do to just go get the Chick-fil-A for your kids. It's an easy thing, but it's not the loving thing. Mm-hmm. And again, we all have our moments, and anyone who's been around me, my kids get plenty of treats. I'm not, making organic pea smoothies every day and, shoving it down their throat.
No.
They're doing just fine. But the point I want to get across is you've got to get aligned with your family. And I think that starts with your partner first and foremost. This is not, in my house at least, it's not a democracy. It's a bit of a dictatorship, and I'll say co-dictatorship. We got to get on the same page first, right? Because if you've got one parent here with their ideas on wellness and the others here, that discord is going to be confusing for the kids. So you've got to get on the same page. And that can be stuff as simple as, hey, listen, I really need to go to my workout class 3 times a week. What can I do to support you in some way that allows me to go to those things guilt-free? Because that really just makes me feel good, sets me up for my wellness success. What do you need? What can I support for you? Right? Having those sort of discussions, I think, are important, because in the end, if you just let life happen to you, now all of a sudden it's just the daily shit show of trying to survive.
Well, it rolls out from under you. It's like you've been steamrolled by all of these things. You have not had any planning. I was talking to my sister this morning, frustrated, she's tired, the holidays, have come and gone, and the time has passed, and it happened to her, and she doesn't even know what happened. And it's frustrating.
Well, we all feel that on a daily basis. I mean,
Yes.
if you work and you've got a family, that's life, right? So I'm just talking about getting on the same page with your family. And I really believe that one of the most loving things you can do for your loved ones is to prioritize wellness. And again, it doesn't mean you don't enjoy indulgences. It just means that you're trying to set up overall 80% of the time some really good habits and connect with people. And it's amazing how teenage moods and, terrible toddlers and school age kids really all of a sudden become little angels when you put good food in their body. They get to bed at a reasonable time.
It's true.
Their device is turned off at 7 p.m.
And left downstairs.
And that you then all do activities together. These are all things most of us in this wonderful country are privileged to do. We just got to get a little bit more intentional about doing it.
Okay. And the last thing, dialing in your hormones.
Yeah, this is again like a wellness thing that I don't think enough people are talking about, and is in some cases that missing ingredient for some people. So,
I don't think anyone's talking about it. I was surprised you included it.
Well, I'll share.
Do you think it's that important?
I'll share a story. I had a wonderful patient, Gary, great guy, fun guy from Chicago, like just awesome dude, the sort of guy you want to go hang out with. And Gary admittedly was not in good shape, but he didn't lack knowledge or means. He had a gym in his house. He's had a personal trainer. You talked to him about nutrition. He knows his stuff. But he just didn't have that sort of get up and go, that fire in his belly to do what he knew he needed to do. And so his physician who I partnered with sent him on over to help manage and optimize his hormones. So we ended up dialing in his testosterone levels. I saw Gary 5 months later, but when I walked in the room, I didn't know who I was looking at because it wasn't the Gary from 5 months ago. It was Gary who was 75 pounds lighter with even a bigger smile on his face.
You're kidding.
Who started telling me all of the training he'd been doing, the eating. This guy did a huge deep dive into wellness as a result of this. He felt so good.
Just
this
on
was
his own.
This was his personality. Again, this wasn't someone who, didn't have the ability. I mean, if there's anyone who could go down this path, it was Gary. But simply the only thing we did is dial in his hormones. And again, going back to that analogy of the sort of the performance vehicle, you can build a Ferrari, but if there's no gas in the tank, it's not going anywhere. And hormones are getting that right gas in the tank. And then I'd argue what Gary did was he's partnered with the right healthcare professionals. His primary care doctor is phenomenal. We like to think we know what we're doing with hormones and getting those dialed in a bit more so than a lot of the myths that are out there. And it just shows that power. So wellness is not about just one thing. It's about optimizing all of these things. And if you can make incremental changes, and what I'll leave everyone with today is, as you were coming up with your New Year's resolutions, look for an easy win. Just get some momentum. Just get an easy win. We all, in other aspects of our life, it's like, they say, how do you eat an elephant? Well, one bite at a time. Right? So I think some easy wins you can do. Stop even attempting to do a diet. Just put good whole foods in your body. Move your body at every moment that you can. Set up a bedtime routine. Find a moment of gratitude. Sit down with your partner and come up with a family New Year's resolution for wellness. What are parts where you can make compromises with each other? What are parts you can come together? And find yourself a healthcare team that can help be that coach. Look at your hormones, look at other things, vitamin D levels. It's not just testosterone and estrogen levels in women. There's so many other, biochemical things that when they're off, they make all this a lot harder. So hopefully people find that this is some actionable New Year's resolutions. Because again, this is the time we all go, I got to go join the gym and I got to go on this diet. I'm saying you don't. Like if you want to go join the gym and you're going to do it, please do. But maybe it just starts with taking the stairs and stopping your milkshake in the morning from Starbucks.
That's pretty simple. Those are doable things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kat, you have any New Year's resolutions yourself here?
Oh, no.
No.
No. In the same way that I do not get on scales, I do not make New Year's resolutions. And also I didn't prepare. I don't know what my New Year's resolutions are other than continuing to maintain the level of awesomeness that I am currently bringing to this podcast.
Your humility is overwhelming.
It's
Just overwhelming.
Such humility.
Well,
I'm going to enact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of these things that you say here today and the things that we talk about at home. We talk about all of this constantly in our home. We truly do. And try to get on more of these. There are a couple of these that are not in alignment for me.
Yeah.
So I'm going to double down on pulling it together.
Sounds good. Well,
goals. He always wants me to have a goal. I don't love goals, but I'm going to try.
For the record, I let her do whatever the hell she wants.
Of course. How's he going to stop me? You kidding?
I've learned better. So for those of you like, oh God, trust me, she does whatever she wants.
I'm in charge.
And that's okay. Well, listen, Stream Team, again, Happy New Year. Thank you so much. I mean, this has really been an awesome start to 2024. 2025, but 2024 has been an awesome start to this podcast. And we hope you find this valuable, and we're always looking to improve. But I am very excited about 2025 at Pizzona MD and here at Balls Deep to just continue to improve ourselves. And, I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart and on behalf of Kat that this has been a lot of fun, and we're going to keep coming at it better than ever. So
we'll keep trying.
Yeah. With that, again, please show yourself a little bit more love and grace. We're all works in progress, and these are opportunities to improve. Thank you, and Happy New Year.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Balls Deep. If you'd like to join our Stream team of listeners, please click the subscribe button on your favorite podcast platform. For more information about our practice, Pizzona MD, please visit pizzonamd.com. This podcast is for informational purposes only, and the content is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice. The show does not constitute the practice of medicine. No doctor-patient relationship is formed through this podcast or any of the social media channels related to this show. The use of this information is at the user's own risk. Users should not disregard or delay in obtaining medical advice from any medical condition they have, and they should seek the assistance of their healthcare professionals for any such conditions.